So imagine this for a second. You're trapped inside a video game, and if you die, your save file gets erased forever. No reloads, no checkpoints, just game over. Meanwhile, Sony is pulling back first party releases from dropping on PC. Then we got a brand new God of War spinoff in development. Dr. Stone final season finally has a release date, and Hollywood is about to see a massive streaming merger that could reshape the industry. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Welcome back to episode 28 of KB Talks, the show where gaming, movies, and anime all collide. I'm KB, and today we got a loaded episode. But before we jump in, make sure you're subscribed so on Tuesdays and Saturdays you're locked in for the gaming streams. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start off with PlayStation Plus. Here are your PlayStation Plus monthly games for March. PGA Tour 2K25, Monster Hunter Rise, Slime Rancher 2, and The Elder Scrolls Online. Pretty solid lineup this month. You get a massive RPG with Elder Scrolls Online, one of the best action RPGs with Monster Hunter Rise, a relaxing sandbox in Slime Rancher 2, and if you want something more laid back, you could jump into PGA Tour 2K25. But outside of PlayStation Plus, some interesting announcements just dropped. Bandai Namco has officially announced a brand new open world RPG called Sword Art Online Echoes of Iron Cred. This game is basically the game that Kirito and all the main characters got stuck in Sword Art Online. And the concept is cool as hell. So they put out some descriptions for it. You play as just another trapped player in the game. It's fully customizable, and there's a brutal death game difficulty where dying deletes your save file. But I believe you have to unlock that. Your companions have unique abilities and team attacks. Enemies will hunt and follow you across the map. The developers want the entire world to feel like a dungeon. Defeating sealed mini-bosses unlock new areas, loot, and secrets. Towns act as hub to upgrade gear, level up, and unlock weapon abilities. The release date for this is July 9th, 2026. And they put out a bunch of gameplay footage for it. Now, I think more anime games need to go this route. Stop making every game an arena fighter. Like, we had a little run where things were looking different. You had with Dragon Ball, they gave us Xenoverse. The One Piece games where you could, I guess, free roam. But then we had countless games like Bleach, Naruto, Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter, all just arena fighters. I forgot the name of it, but just recently an anime was announced to get a game, but it's a survival RPG instead of the typical Arena Fighter. Please, for the love of God, more anime games go different routes. I just hope. I I really hope this game is good, and it being good is also successful, so it could show. Cause they're all made. I believe they're all made by Bandai Namco, but like, do some other things. Like, people get tired of the same Ninja Storm. It's basically a Ninja Storm game slapped with the skin of a new anime. Like, this is something different. It looks good. The one thing I am disappointed with, but it makes sense, is you can't dual wield. I wanted to dual wield personally, but they said you can't dual wield because in the show it's unique to just Kirito himself. So I'll probably do a bow and arrow run. Try to be like my man's Oliver Queen. But if they can really commit to their survival tension, this could end up being one of the most interesting anime RPG adaptations we've seen in a while. I just hope they really stick the landing. But here's something a lot of PC players might not like. Sony is pulling back from releasing some of its biggest PlayStation titles on PC. Future titles like Sorrows, and Ghosts of Yote are expected to remain PS5 exclusives. The reasoning: some PlayStation executives believe that PC releases have underperformed. There are concerns that launching major titles on other platforms could potentially weaken the PlayStation brand. We're kind of seeing that with Xbox, but I've seen people, a bunch of people said the reason they're not selling on PC because they're not doing day and date releases, so they're not dropping the same day on PlayStation and PC. When they drop on PlayStation, you gotta wait at least 2 years before it goes to PC. Spider-Man 2 being the shortest with a year and some change, but I understand their reasoning because Steam is dropping the I forgot, damn, the Steam machine. They're dropping their little mini console version of Steam, but that's coming out soon. Xbox coming out soon, and the Xbox is claiming to have PC capabilities, so you could just play PlayStation games on Xbox, and Sony definitely doesn't want that. So I can see why they're choosing to remove PlayStation titles from PC. But it's a pretty aggressive shift considering the last couple years they've been pushing more aggressively into PC gaming. But like I said, Steam is coming out with the Steam machine, so Sony views that as another console they got to compete with. But moving on, unfortunately, not every game gets a long life. The multiplayer title Highguard will officially be shutting down permanently on March 12th. Another reminder that the modern live service model is incredibly tough. Even well-designed games sometimes just can't sustain the player base needed to survive. I don't think they did a good enough job of cutting into the market because you got to take people away from Fortnite, Warzone, uh, Destiny, Warframe, a bunch of games like that, but they didn't do that, so I can see why it it didn't it didn't reach where they was expecting it to. I seen a bunch of people say it was good, but I didn't try it out. There's no point now. It's gone in a couple days, so moving on. And speaking of major studios, new details have surfaced about Cory Barlog's next project. Here's what we know so far. It's a spin-off set in the God of War universe. Atreus will not be the main character. Some fans believe the game could still involve Loki-related storylines. The reveal is currently planned for 2026, and the target release window is 2027. So maybe at one of these gaming events, they'll actually announce what it is. Maybe they'll announce it at the next state of play. But I believe there's rumors out there that the character it's about is Faye. For the people who don't know, Faye is the second wife of Kratos and Atreus' mom. So if it's really about her, it'll probably be a prequel to God of War 2018. We get to play as her up until she meets a washed up Kratos coming from Greece. I would like to see that. I don't know about everybody else, but I would really enjoy it. And then since it's the main team involved with God of War, the expectations are automatically high because the God of War universe has plenty of room for side stories, new mythologies, and different playable characters. But we know everybody loves Kratos, so I do hope they get back to him when they can. Alright, that's it for gaming. Now we're about to switch gears to anime. So, the final season of Dr. Stone officially premieres April 2nd, 2026. This will wrap up the long journey of Seku rebuilding civilization with science, and honestly has been one of the more unique shonen animes of the last decade. I've read majority of Dr. Stone, and anime wise I fell off season 2 or 3, but since I've read a lot, I kind of know where is it at. I might pick it back up to finish, but it was, as far as I was watching, it was an enjoyable watch. The thing with me is, if I'm watching something or reading something week to week, if I miss one episode, I just never go back. But I gotta change that. And might have to just double back and finish Dr. Stone. But be prepared, April 2nd, 2026, the final season. Now, in a movie that surprised a lot of fans, an official YouTube channel dedicated to Naruto and Boruto has finally launched, which means we could possibly start seeing official clips, episodes, promotional content, and possibly even new announcement being shared directly through the platform. Now, I don't know if other animes like Dragon Ball, One Piece, or Bleach have their own dedicated YouTube channel, but with Naruto and Boruto getting their YouTube channel, I know a while ago I was talking about how it's been some years since they announced we're getting 4 new Naruto episodes and nothing, and we haven't gotten another update after that. Maybe this is their way of they make their YouTube channel and this is where they're gonna update them. I mean, upload them. Cause I don't know if they're just gonna put them out on like Crunchyroll or just dump it straight to the Naruto and Boruto YouTube channel. Hopefully we get an update on that, but they gave Naruto an official dedicated YouTube channel. Maybe more anime will follow along. Now, before we move on to what's happening over on Hollywood, I have 2 recommendations for you guys. As always, it's a manga recommendation and a comic book recommendation. The manga of the episode is Dragon Ball Super. I figured now that we're getting basically a redo of the Dragon Ball Super anime to be closer to the manga, I figured now would be a good time to recommend the manga. The art is done by Toyotaro, the one who was handpicked by Akira Toriyama to carry on the torch of Dragon Ball. Now, if you only watch the show, the manga will seem completely different. Some stuff is the same, but once it really gets to like the future Trunks arc, that's when you start noticing huge differences. But I highly recommend anybody who's excited for the return of Dragon Ball, please go read the Dragon Ball Super manga. I won't give spoilers, but I'll say the granola arc is a great arc for Goku, and the moral arc is a great arc for Vegeta. But now we're moving on to the comic book of the week. The one I chose was Batman 2025, issue number 7. This is Batman with the blue suit. But we're only 7 issues in, and I've been liking what they're doing with Batman so far. I don't remember seeing Nightwing or Jason, but it's been mainly about Damian and Tim so far. Hopefully we get more of the Bat family. Like, I want to see Duke, some Red Hood action, but this this was a this issue felt quick to me but important. I I'm gonna just break it down with no spoilers. Basically, Bruce goes to no, not Bruce. Batman goes to Wayne Industries because a certain somebody has asked to speak to him, and before he meets whoever that person is, he has to talk to the scientist from the last issue that he was on a date with. So he has to go through her to talk to, I guess, the person. I'm trying not to give no spoilers, but it's a good read and it's quick. I'm just go read it, man. And then it's only 7 issues, so you could just start from one and catch your way up easy. But once again, the comic of the episode is Batman 2025, and the manga is Dragon Ball Super. Go out your way to read both of those. And now that we're warmed up, let's slide over to the chaos happening in Hollywood. So, a new trailer for Lanterns has been released, with the series expected to arrive this August. This is one of the bigger projects in the new DC lineup and could play a major role in setting the tone for their upcoming universe. This is also one of the projects that is not done by James Gunn. Somebody else is handling this. Now we've got a full trailer for Lanterns. I'll link it in the description below. I wanted to just play it, but I'm not trying to get copyrighted. DC loves the copyright for some reason. So here's my thoughts on the trailer. It looks good. It looks like it's gonna be a good show, but I don't know if it's gonna be a good Green Lantern show. Like they showed, we haven't seen any like, we saw what the Green Lantern powers look like in Superman, but they haven't showed anything else in Lanterns. We've gotten a scene of Hal Jordan flying off. Some people complain because he didn't have the green aura around him. Me personally, I'm cool without him having it. Guy Gardner didn't have it in Superman and it looked fine. His flying looked fine, so I think they only really need it if they go out in space. I don't know if they'll go in space during the show, but we'll just have to wait and find out. I've liked everything from the trailer except we gotta look at Hal Jordan's costume. It looks horrible to me. I ain't gonna lie. It's it's not even it's not even green. It's like a dark brown. And then I see some people try to stick up for it, saying it's a beat up costume, but I'm used to the costume just coming from the ring. So I hope when Jon Stewart get his costume, it's more in line with the comic book instead of what they went with. Cause right now in the DC universe, the only people who have real costumes is Superman and Supergirl. Guy Gardner he's on his team and they all got matching outfits. Superman got almost a traditional Superman suit. We got to see Supergirl at the end of Superman get a sneak peek at her suit. Then we seen more of it in her trailer. So I just hope that when Jon Stewart get his suit, it's an actual like Green Lantern suit. They did say Guy Gardner was gonna show up in this show. I hope he does. Could be for some fun interactions between the three, but I have faith it'll be good. I have faith in James Gunn. I just don't like the costume choices. Other than that, everything else is fine. But speaking of trailers, we also got a brand new trailer for The Boys Season 5. The final season premieres April 8th on Prime Video. If you watch the show, you already know nothing is safe, nobody is innocent, and things somehow get more insane every season. Now, I believe before the show ends, minimum 3 people die. I see Butcher dying. I'm 50-50 with Homelander. And I believe A-Train is dying. Now, I didn't read the Boys comic book, so I don't know how it's going. But this last season about to be epic. Also, for my Supernatural fans, we're about to get Sam, Dean, and Castiel back for this final season. I just know it's gonna be hilarious bringing them into this I believe last season, whatever season we got Soldier Boy. He was my favorite character that season. But I just know this is gearing up to be something special. I hope they execute on the landing and end it with a bang. Now, and finally, one of the biggest industry moves we've seen in a long time. Paramount Skydance has revealed new details about their $111 billion Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition. because I believe for a month or so now, it's been reported that Netflix was winning the acquisition of Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers gave Paramount one last chance to put in a bid. They put in a 111 billion bid, and Netflix tapped out. So this is what Paramount put out, saying what's changed once the deal closed. This is what's changing. HBO Max and Paramount Plus will merge into one streaming platform. Now, when this happens, I hope we have a better user interface, because HBO Max isn't bad, but Paramount is dog shit. But they're merging into one. What will the name be? HBO Paramount Max, HBO. I think their best bet is just HBO Paramount or something like that. Then they said around 15 films per studio each year. So 30 movies a year will get shortened. We'll get a shortened 45-day theatrical window. But I'm hoping if the movie is doing well, they'll push it to 60. They said the combined company will carry about a $79 billion debt. They're also targeting $6 billion in cost saving, mostly from tech infrastructure consolidation, real estate reductions, and corporate restructuring. Now, with the real estate reductions, I just hope they keep like the Warner Brother lot. I don't know how far Warner Brother and Paramount are, but they could like just mesh them together. But with this deal going through, one of the main concerns I have is Warner Brothers gaming division, because just last episode I was telling you guys how the head executives at Warner Brothers gaming division was saying, hey, we got a big surprise coming 2027, 2028. We're gonna refocus on what's important. But I just hope once Paramount take over, they don't just gut the gaming division, because if handled the right way, just off gaming alone, you could easily cut into that $79 billion in debt. Because you put out Harry Potter, that was $1 billion game. Batman makes easy money. Like, just make more DC games with different DC characters and DC teams. That's printing money. Then you got all the things that Paramount own. You could have the gaming division take over some of that stuff. Put out a brand new Ninja Turtle game, Rise of the Ronin. That's all the rave. Like, easy. This is easy money. Like, don't just cut the gaming division. But other details include no plans to sell cable networks. because apparently they want that the most, besides all the movie stuff. They said content will continue being licensed to other studios and platforms. So just because they bought it doesn't mean anybody else will not get a piece. Then executives claim AI will assist artists but never replace human storytellers. Whether that last statement holds up, we'll have to see, because they already trying to push AI into everything they can. But that's the full rundown across gaming, anime, movies, and television. A lot of significant moves, numerous surprises, and 2026 is shaping up to be an incredible year for entertainment, or an incredible setup for what's to come. If there's a topic you think we should cover on the show, let me know down in the comments or hit me up on Twitter at KB Streams. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is KB Talks, the place where gaming, anime, and movies collide. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.